Hello. This video is what it means to be human. I uploaded a video a few weeks back where I was talking about the differences between humans and aliens. And I said, well, yeah, humans, man, we're the great dream of the universe. Like, where finally we get to the next step in evolution and maintain our roots and actually enjoy what we have and who we are and not be thrust into the next level before we're ready and then never get to enjoy all the things that we always enjoyed, mountain biking and running and skiing and camping out in the outdoors and, fulfilling our fantasies when we were children, skydiving, all this stuff. All of a sudden, you have to work use the technology to continue working and creating, structures and more technology and going straight into just working and never enjoying smelling the roses and farming and being out in nature and walking around naked and swimming in the rivers and rolling around in the leaves, when we always could do that, but we could never do it for a long period of time because we would always get invaded by some other tribe or, wars kept happening. And so it was never prolonged periods of peace ever. So now, and it was hard too. We had to take cold showers. We always got sick from infected water and our teeth rotted out and we only lived 45 years or whatever. But now we can have the cake and eat it too. We can be healthy and we can play and be wild animals at the same time. And I think that's the first time we're ever able to do that. But then I came up to new revelations, certain people said, namely George Cavasalis and Lisa Renee, in that what it means to be human. Well, I think this is what I've gathered from what other people have said, is that our universe, and I guess a bunch of universes, have been involved in intergalactic space battles for a really long time. Humans fighting against, and who else? Alex Collier. And Anna Hayes. Shannon Dean. Humans have been fighting the reptilian aliens for billions of years. Reptilians came in from another galaxy and something happened and then it's oversouls sent parts of their souls down to fix it, but then it was worse than they thought, so then the entire oversoul had to fall down and then their oversoul sent their people down to try to fix it, but then the entire oversoul got sucked in and then they didn't like that and they lost their connection to God, the direct line to the center of the universe. So they created new life forms from scratch, and young souls and advanced humanoid bodies to suck off of their energy, because since they were young innocent souls, they could have direct connection to the light source. So they sucked off of them like vampires. But anyways, that's kind of complicated, so I'm not going to get too much into it. But there were intergalactic space battles. Reptilians fighting human beings, which I guess almost resulted in the complete destruction of the human race. And they started in the Lyra star system. And then humans, like the Orions, getting sucked into the battles and fighting other humans. And then even getting the Pleiadians to fight other Pleiadians based on race. Certain humanoid races thinking that they're better than other human races based on just because they look different and they have different bodies. And it just turned into this big, huge, atrocious mess of just stratified layers of these guys abusing these guys abusing these guys, these guys abusing these guys. Kind of like how it is now with, say, the encomienda system of Latin America, where you have the guys born in Spain get to abuse the guys who are half Spanish, get to abuse the guys who are all Indian, get to abuse the guys who are illiterate Indians, you know what I mean? And the guys at the bottom just work 6 days a week just to maintain the lavish lifestyles of the guys way up on the top who don't have to work at all. That's actually shit that comes from the aliens, that we've learned from the aliens. But the whole idea of the human being, what it means to be human, is that humans were created 250,000 years ago by the Anunnaki and some other aliens to be the planet, to be the Switzerland of the universe, to be the planet where genetics from all of the different races who have been involved in the battles, all 57 different races, according to some people who are alien contactees, and I think according to Alex Collier, are 22 different races. And that's why we have different colored races here. We have the Chinese, the blacks, the whites, and then everything in between. The Aboriginals, who are actually the closest genetically to the reptilians, according to the Syrians, through Windy Monroe. And, Eskimos and all these different races, including other races that don't even exist anymore, like all the different African races, which look totally different, and then those little pygmy guys in Indonesia, and the giants, all the different kinds of giants that lived here up until pretty recently. And then the Lemurians, who were really peaceful, and all these different races, just throwing them all together to try to start a race from scratch, and then grow them up together so that genetically all the souls who have been fighting could reincarnate on the earth from 250,000 years ago, from a long time ago, and live with each other for that long, reincarnating with each other over and over again, so that by the time we got to now, 2010, we have been like a direct family member with each and every person on the entire planet, at least once, and many times, multiple times. And so that you can have memories of being in a family unit and being in a family member with somebody who galactically isn't even from your star system, isn't even human, is like weird ass looking humans, spider people with four-legged people, animals, reptilians, fucked up grays, and they were saying, if you could actually look in the mirror and see what you've looked like in your past life, or what you've looked like for most of your lives, that you would see some creatures that are just completely different from human, like monstrosities, something that you're like, whoa, I'm an alien. So Earth is where all the different kind of aliens come here and live together, and they're able to live here because the human race was created from samplings of the DNA, so that your soul genetics could be compatible with the physical genetics on here, and you just reincarnate in something that has enough of your galactic soul genetics, similar to you. And there's plenty of different races here that have that, because we're such a mix of all of them, even though some have more than others. And so we came here, and so we live, and we go through, and so we kind of live through all of the different causes, and we relive all of the different racial battles that we all had against each other over and over again. And that's why we've had all of the wars on this planet, and all of the microcosm of the racism and the classist structure and everything from billions of years ago. And but we're coming up, and now if you look at the world now, we're doing quite well. A lot of people would say that we're not doing well. I think those are the evil forces possessing those people to try and tell them that we're not doing well. But if you look at it logically, instead of emotionally and playing into the fucking mind game of illusion of thinking that it's all just going to shit and hell in a handbasket, which is not. If you look at it logically, all these different races are intermarrying. You have all these different mutts and mestizos and mulattoes, and that's a beautiful thing. Music is being influenced by all different cultures. If in America, I think, as a world, as say the Switzerland of the universe. America is the Switzerland of the world. And America is doing great. I mean, racism is not... I mean, some black people might tell you otherwise. But racism is not bad here. Racism is great in America. You know, Mexicans can come and live here, and they seem to be having fun. It's a lot better. I mean, we've accomplished a lot. We had slavery just 140 years ago. Now we had a segregation just 40 years ago. Now we've got a black president, and it's all great. It's all getting better. Women are coming up, and things are getting better. And so I think we're doing quite well. And so the whole universe looks at the earth and they go, oh, wow, look, they're all getting along and they're all fixing all of their differences from what they've been fighting for the last billions of years in the entire galaxy. Let's follow their lead and let's do it. So I think the earth is kind of like the, if you will, Hollywood success story of the universe. So that people come and they watch Earth develop and grow. And they step out of that theater of the earth. And they go, yay, I feel so good. Let's do that. Let's take those good vibrations home and not fight anymore. And that's what it is to be a human being. Now another thing is from what I've gathered from Lisa Renee. And I think that dude George give us all some other ones, is that human beings we're a lot greater than we think we are. We're a lot more powerful than we know we are. I think most humanoids in the universe are kind of younger souls, and they're in the lower dimensions to grow and stuff through time and space and different material levels, you know, from the third dimension on upward, from being caveman gradually. But human beings are different. We actually came down. We're like fallen angels. We came down because they needed really high developed, powerful souls to incorporate primitive humanoid bodies, which were like a mixture between Homo erectus and the Anunnaki. So kind of like, which was a totally different species from what we are now. Really primitive, not, developed cerebral cortex, really powerful old souls to fall down and live in these primitive bodies and then grow through these primitive bodies gradually, and grow up again. Even though they'd already gone through that stage before as souls a long time ago on other planets. Because they needed the strongest and the best and the brightest souls. It was like the scholarship of the whole universe. Or like, we need the best of the best to come in and special forces. Souls who incorporate human beings on this planet are special forces souls. We need the special forces to come down here. We came down here, we dropped down from the avatar level. So that's 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Isn't that like 11th dimension? Like way high, connected to we were like masters of galaxies. We were gods where we came down. Each and every one of us, an earthling down here, we're actual gods of our own fucking galaxy or something like that. Orchestrating, and then we all were like, all right, let's all come down and poof, to grow up in this planet and like just power through and just absorb like a liver all of the toxic shit that all those other aliens from their wars created and absorb and learn from what they all the bullshit that they taught us about classism and racism, and like buy into it, but then grow out of it. And so now when we're done and we get to, this new age of transformation, and we know exactly, why we shouldn't think of anything as separate, or ourselves as separate, and just be really, really in connection with the source and one love and everything. So everybody's like, whoa, look what they did. Oh my God, they're amazing. Let's us do it. Anyways, I'm out of time. So that's what it is to be a human being.